Hi, I'm Andrew Sherberg, attorney and owner at Stages Elder Law and Estate Planning. I want to talk to you about the difference in working with Stages versus working with a firm that maybe is a general practice law firm or even using online tools to create your estate planning. When you work with us, we work across 5 different areas to make sure that your plans are complete and the right plans for you. The first thing is we want to make sure your plans are customized. And when I talk about customized, that's us sitting down with you, getting to know you, your story, your situation, and what your goals are, what your concerns are. So, our drafting, when we draft your documents, is going to be based on what we know about you. And it's not just going to be some generic template that could have fit anybody who would walk in the door. The second thing that we want to make sure that we work with you on is to make sure that your estate plans are clear. So, not just the documents that we draft, but we want to make sure that your whole asset picture is clear. And that means, we have some clients who have multiple different bank accounts or multiple different investment accounts. We want to work with you or your other professionals to see if there's not a way to simplify those things because number one, as we age, it can get more difficult to manage a very complicated financial picture. And number two, for the people who we name in our documents, like our agent and our power of attorney or our executor in our will, if they walk into a very complex financial picture, it's going to be more difficult for them to take care of things for us or for our loved ones than if we've taken the time to kind of simplify. It's no different than decluttering your home in some respects. We have clients who've passed away and the family comes in to maybe sell a house and it's full of clutter. And it's a really difficult thing for the family members to sort through, to figure out what's important and to make sure they don't miss anything. Same thing holds true with your finances. Another thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that your plans are consistent. So when we draft a will and we name your beneficiaries, if you have, let's say, an investment account and you have different beneficiaries listed on that investment account, those beneficiaries are going to trump what's in your will. And maybe that's what you want, maybe it's not. But what we want to do is make sure that everything that's part of your estate plan, and it's not just the documents we draft, everything. It's the payable on death beneficiaries, it's survivorship on your different accounts. We want to make sure that the whole picture does exactly what you want it to do. We also want to make sure that we confirm that. So we're not just going to want to see the forms from the different providers, but we want to see that they actually accepted changes. So if we look at your estate plan and we realize that maybe a beneficiary needs to be changed on a 401k, we're going to want to make sure that there's follow through and that the financial provider actually does make that change. Because the last thing we want to see, and we've seen it with people who've done plans with other people, is we've seen accounts that are getting paid out to someone who that was never the intention or wasn't the intention when they updated their plans. We've seen accounts that have paid out to or been set to pay out to ex-spouses, to people who are not in the client's life anymore. So we really want to make sure that all of those changes are confirmed and that we know that your whole plan is going to do exactly what you want it to. And the last thing is really continuous. Estate plans tend to be one of those things that, first of all, people don't want to talk about in the first place. They don't want to talk about maybe becoming incapacitated one day or even talk about their death. So it's hard enough to get people to want to do these plans sometimes. And then when people do them, they kind of sit them in a drawer where they gather dust. And we think it's important for those plans to be reviewed periodically to make sure that things haven't changed. Circumstances in our lives change. Maybe the people we want to do certain things in our documents have changed. If we're not reviewing those documents may not do what we want them to do in the future. And sometimes the law changes too. We try to make our documents as robust as possible, but laws change over time, and it's important that you review those estate plans to make sure that they still do what you want them to do. We're looking forward to meeting with you. If you have any questions before our meeting, please don't hesitate to reach out, and otherwise, we'll see you soon.